students of Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology have been directed to vacate the school premises latest by Saturday, September 18th. The directive issued by the Ashanti Regional Minister Simon Osei Mensah is due to intelligence gathered by the security service that some groups of students are planning to interrupt the peaceful condition in the school on the eve of vacation September 17th. According to the press statement dated September 15th, this directive has been put in place to, quote, ensure that peace and sanity are maintained on the KNUST campus and that students leave on vacation day to their homes in peace. However, foreign students and others who have received authorization from the school's management are those permitted to stay on campus after the vacation date. To ensure full compliance with the directive, the Ashanti Regional Minister noted that security personnel will be stationed on campus to prevent any unruly behavior or opposition by students. The statement further warned that, quote, if students decide to misbehave and engage in acts of indiscipline and criminality, they will be handled in accordance with the law. Supply of premix fuel to 4 landing beach communities in the central region has been suspended indefinitely due to illegal fishing activities in those areas. The communities are British Commander, Dago, Abanze, and Mori. A statement by the National Premix Fuel Secretariat said the action was a punitive measure for the communities engaged in light fishing and other illegal fishing practices. However, the president of Canoe and Fishing Gear Owners Association of Ghana, Nana Kweja, stated that the directive was a selective enforcement of the laws on illegalities in the fisheries sector and that it would not help efforts to solve the problem in the sector. He said the fight against illegalities was haphazardly being implemented, stressing that other illegalities, including the use of monofilament nets and undersized nets, were going on in many other communities. The Ghana Statistical Service will on September 22, 2021, release provisional results for the 2021 Population and Housing Census. That will be the first time provisional results will be released within 3 months of the census night. The calendar previews the data products that will be generated from the 2021 PHC. The purpose of the calendar, the statement said, was to provide information to stakeholders and data users on when data products from the census will be available to the public to promote extensive usage of the census figures. The calendar features 6 different types of publications and 8 interactive and user-friendly products to be released within the next 2 years to meet the diverse needs of data users. The publications are the Preliminary Report, Residential Proximity to Essential Services Report, General Report, Thematic Reports, Analytical Reports, and the Census Atlas. President Akufo-Addo on Tuesday launched Ghana's integrated aluminum industry project that would drive the full commercial but environmentally friendly exploitation of the country's bauxite reserves. This will serve as the key pillar for the national strategy for industrialization. The project, estimated to require some $6 billion to execute, will be one of the most audacious projects since Ghana's independence. It will be implemented in 4 phases, with the first phase involving the expansion of the existing mine at Awaso in the Bibiani-Inshiaso, Ekwa Municipal District of the Western North Region, and the building of a bauxite refinery. The second phase will see the development of a mine and a refinery. The third phase will also see the development of a mine in Chibi, in the East Achim Municipal District, in the Eastern Region, and a second mine at Yinehin in Pasaso. In the fourth phase of the projects, the Valco smelter will be modernized and expanded to improve efficiency and increase capacity. The Ghana Chamber of Telecommunication has urged government not to consider the possibility of taxing mobile money in the short to medium terms. This follows ongoing concerns among mobile money agents and other stakeholders of a likely introduction of some taxes on mobile money transactions. Data from the Bank of Ghana over the years shows how mobile money has transformed and continues to transform lives in the country, especially in the era of COVID-19. Between June 2020 and June 2021, active mobile money accounts have risen from 15.5 million to 18.3 million, while the total value of transactions has risen from 45.3 billion to 89 billion within the same period. On the back of the impressive numbers, the Minister of Communication and Digitalization, Ursula Owusu-Ekufo, had hinted at the possibility of taxing aspects of mobile money to help shore up government's revenue. Also, a few months back, mobile money agents across the country were kicking against a 10% tax they say was being imposed on their earnings by the government. The Registrar-General's department says it will strike off dormant and default companies after the end of its validation of dormant companies at the end of September 2021. It said the exercise was to validate dormant companies which adhere to the directive of the Registrar of Companies to file their annual return with the department or risk being delisted from the company's register. In a statement signed by Jemima Owari, Registrar General, the department said companies due for strike-off still in default after the end of September 21 will be published in the national dailies and the department's website. It added that the companies that could not file their annual returns before the June 30th deadline for any reason were urged to take advantage and comply during the validation period, which commenced on July 1st, 2021. Zimbabwe has barred unvaccinated civil servants from going to work with immediate effect. Information Minister Monica Mutsvangwa said the government had given its workers ample time to get COVID-19 vaccines. The authorities say about 90% of people admitted to hospital for COVID are unvaccinated. The country is averaging 145 new cases a day and reported 7 deaths on Tuesday. Close to 2 million Zimbabweans, about 12% of the populations, are now fully inoculated. It's not clear how many civil servants are affected by the cabinet's decision and whether they will continue to receive their salaries or be able to work from home. The government is the country's largest employer, and the directive could also affect services such as healthcare delivery and education. The majority of the public school teachers are not vaccinated. After COVID infection numbers declined this month, gyms, restaurants, and churches were allowed to reopen, but workers and patrons had to be fully vaccinated. Nigeria's Information Minister Lai Mohammed has said the country would, quote, in a few more days, lift the ban on social media platform Twitter. He, however, did not give a specific date when pressed, Reuters news agencies report. Mr. Mohammed said Nigerian authorities and Twitter officials had to, quote, dot the I's and cross the T's. It's just going to be very, very soon. Just take my word for that. Before reaching a final agreement. Nigeria banned Twitter in June after it removed a post by President Muhammadu Buhari threatening to punish secessionists in the country's southeast region. The ban has harmed Nigeria's businesses and been widely condemned for undermining freedom of expression. The UK, US, and Australia have announced a historic security pact in the Asia-Pacific in what's seen as an effort to counter China. It will let Australia build nuclear-powered submarines for the first time using technology provided by the US. The AUKUS Pact, which will also cover AI and other technologies, is one of the country's biggest defense partnership in decades, analysts say. China has condemned the agreement as, quote, extremely irresponsible. Foreign Ministry spokesman Zhao Lijian said it seriously undermines regional peace and stability and intensifies the arms race. China's embassy in Washington accused the countries of a Cold War mentality and ideological prejudice. The pact also created a row with France, which has now lost a deal with Australia to build 12 submarines. The new partnership was announced in a joint virtual press conference between U.S. President Joe Biden, UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson, and his Australian counterpart Scott Morrison on Wednesday. And while China was not mentioned directly, the three leaders referred repeatedly to regional security concerns, which they said had, quote, grown significantly. Ghana has dropped one place to the 53rd position in the latest FIFA rankings for the month of September. The drop follows Ghana's poor showing in their opening two World Cup qualifiers, beating Ethiopia and losing to South Africa in their first two games. The Black Stars remain 7th on the continent despite the drop in the main rankings behind Senegal, Tunisia, Algeria, Morocco, Nigeria, and Egypt. England moved up to 3rd, leapfrogging France to 4th, with Belgium and Brazil occupying the top spots, and European champions sitting in 5th. A member of the three-member committee tasked to search for a new coach for the Black Stars, Randy Abbey, has disclosed that the next coach could either be a Ghanaian or a foreigner. According to him, the most important thing is that whoever is selected must be somebody who already understands the terrain and could, quote, hit the ground running. Explaining the criteria being used by the committee to pick the next Black Star coach, the Executive Council member of the Ghana Football Association said the race of the person was not relevant and that whoever got the job must also fit into the government's budget. He admitted that the 72 hours was too short, but noted that the exigencies of the time warranted that things were not done the normal way, because the Black Stars had to play 4 World Cup qualifiers in the next 7 weeks. Greater Accra Regional Minister Henry Korte has directed that part of his parliamentary salary be paid to veteran actor Sam Ejetefio. In a letter to the actor on Wednesday, he indicated that an amount of 1,500 Ghana cedis will be given to Ejetefio every month till January 7, 2025. That will be when his term as a member of parliament for Ayawaso Central ends. Mr. Korte's directive has come 2 days after Vice President Mahamudu Bawumia donated 50,000 Ghana cedis to the actor for his rent and upkeep. Sam Ejetefio, who's popularly known as TT from the Rested Taxi Driver series, has been trending since last week over his inability to pay his rent. This was after an appeal to Ghanaians to support him raise an amount of 3,000 Ghana cedis for his rent in an interview with Step 1 TV went viral. Mr. Korte's donation was in response to a call by Ghana Dangbe Youth Association led by their president, Ni Ayafu Tete II, who requested for financial support for the veteran actor. Samini has challenged Shatta Wale to a musical duo to prove himself worthy of his position in the Ghanaian entertainment industry. According to Samini, this is the year of truth to expose undeserving artists who are given awards. Samini wades into the war between Shatta Wale and the organizer of 3 music awards, Baba Sadiq, after an allegation revealed that the 3 music award scheme awards musicians on non-merit grounds. Some musicians like Samini are upset with the developments. Samini tweeted, quote, "Life, you want to tarnish everyone's image to elevate yours. LOL. Tell them about your base awards and all the other fake behind closed doors accolades y'all take just to get closer to authentic legacies. Why didn't you reject them, Mr. Fake? Revolutionary Papa."